Okay, so let's get started. So what do you need to know before you actually set up your Amazon Seller Central account? So there's a couple of things and a couple of questions that actually come to mind for a lot of people. Do I need to set up a company, whether that's an LLC in the US or a limited company in the UK? Do I need to get that set up before I actually start selling on Amazon? Well, the simple and straightforward answer is no, absolutely not. However, there are two major benefits to having a limited company or an LLC. The two benefits are tax and security. So with tax, you pay a lot less tax if you are a company. And with security, there's a lot more security when you have a company. So let's say, for example, I was selling a light bulb. And oh, by the way, we wouldn't be selling light bulbs, and I'll explain exactly why we wouldn't be selling light bulbs in the later modules. So let's say we're selling a light bulb. Somebody fits it in, it sets on fire, and the whole house goes up in flames. That person could essentially come and sue your company. But what they can't do if you have a company is sue you as a person. So if you have a mortgage, you have a house, or you have a car, they can't take any of that. They can't take any legal action against any of that stuff. So if you do decide to open a company, you'd have to make sure that you get an accountant to do your tax returns at the end of every year. Now, my advice personally is that you shouldn't have a limited company, you shouldn't have an LLC company, unless you're actually growing and you're getting really big on Amazon. So if you're taking anything around the £2,000 to £5,000 a month profit mark a month, or anything above that, then I would strongly advise that you get an accountant, get a limited company or an LLC. Now, there's a slight variation and difference to the US and the UK. So for the US, and if you're based in the US, it's a lot more difficult, a lot more expensive to try and set up a company. So I definitely would say, don't go with it at the start. If you are based in the UK, it literally takes 10 minutes to set up a limited business. And it takes about 3 to 4 days for everything to actually be set up, the paperwork to come in, etc., etc. And that costs less than £10 to actually do. So if you do have a limited company, you can use this to sell in the UK and the US. So if you do decide to go for a company, just so you know, you are able to sell in both countries with a limited company from the UK. So what information do you need to set up an account with Amazon? Well, you obviously need your name, you need your address, you need your contact details. You'll also need your bank details as well, or a credit card. You'd have to provide some level of proof. So that would be a bank statement or a passport or an ID card to show that you are who you are and you live where you live. You'd also have to provide a small amount of tax information to Amazon. However, this is super simple. Amazon make it really easy for you. It literally takes under 2 minutes to get sorted. You don't have to pull too much information together to get it all done. And I'm going to talk you through exactly how to do this in the next steps.